echoes in the abandoned mine. I still hear them, the voices. They whisper to me, calling me back to the shadows from which they came. I remember the first time I reported the sounds underground, the unsettling echoes that slithered through the damp tunnels of the mine. I thought I was protecting lives. I thought I was being brave. But the only thing I received in return for my courage was laughter. Laughter and the cold, hard door of my office slamming shut behind me. They called me paranoid. My expertise has turned me into something they never expected. I'm no longer the outcast. I've become a reluctant expert, feared and revered in equal measure for exposing the dark truths that live beneath the surface, truths that others dare not confront. But tonight, I return home. It's a bittersweet journey, one that I've rehearsed 1,000 times in my mind. I imagine their faces when they see me, not as the lost soul they mocked, but as the harbinger of what they failed to understand. As I approach the house, the moon hangs heavy in the sky, casting a pallid glow over the familiar façade. Memories rush back, intermingled with the dread I now carry like a second skin. When I step through the door, the air thickens with an unwelcoming chill. My family sits together in the living room, the very picture of domesticity. They turn, and for a moment, time freezes. My mother's eyes widen, flicking between disbelief and recognition. My father's jaw tightens, his face a mask of confusion, anger, and something else, fear. And there it is, the moment I've longed for. The validation of my existence now rests on their shoulders, heavy and suffocating. "You're back," my mother whispers, the words trembling like leaves in a storm. "We thought you were lost to your madness." "No, Mom," I say, my voice steady, despite the tempest inside me. "I found something down there, something you need to see." The laughter, the ridicule, it all seems so distant now. I pull out my device, the acoustic mapper I crafted from years of trial and error. With a flick of a switch, a low hum fills the room. It's subtle at first, almost soothing, but then it shifts, warping into an unsettling cacophony. The air grows heavy, and the lights flicker as my family stares, transfixed. "What is that?" my father demands, his voice cracking. "What are you doing?" "Just listen," I urge. "Hear what I've uncovered." The echoes of the past, the specters of the mine awaken within the walls of our home. I watch the disbelief shift to horror etched across their faces as the whispers grow louder, more insistent. They are not merely sounds. They are voices distorted, pleading, and echoing with the pain of those who once tread these very grounds. It's a symphony of grief, betrayal, and darkness. Suddenly, the lights flicker violently, and the whispers crescendo into a deafening roar. My family recoils in terror, realizing too late that they have summoned something beyond their understanding. Shadows twist and dance along the walls, taking shape from the very fabric of their disbelief, the specters I've learned to navigate, now unleashed upon the ones who once scorned me. "Stop this," my mother shrieks, clutching her head as if she can physically ward off the horror. "This isn't real," but reality has a cruel way of asserting itself. The walls seem to pulse with the memories of the mine, the miners who were lost, the voices they ignored, and now the reckoning. I stand resolute, having faced this darkness before, but my family, they are unprepared for the weight of their own folly. "Do you hear them?" I whisper, my heart pounding in my chest. This is what you refuse to believe. They are not just echoes. They are warnings, reminders of what happens when you dismiss the truth. My father stumbles back, his bravado crumbling as he grips the armrest of the sofa. "We were wrong. Just stop it. But the voices only grow stronger, feeding on the fear that has finally clawed its way into their hearts. Their laughter, once a weapon against my obsession, is now a distant memory, replaced with regret and terror. The shadows swirl, and I see them, the faces of the fallen miners, their eyes hollow and pleading, reaching out to the skeptics who brought this upon themselves. Time stretches as I watch the realization dawn on their faces, a painful epiphany that perhaps I was never insane, but rather the canary in a coal mine of disbelief. As the echoes crescendo to a deafening climax, I feel the culmination of all my trials and tribulations. I've survived where they could not. I faced the darkness and emerged, albeit burdened, a vessel of truth. And now, they must confront the shadows of their skepticism. Then, just as abruptly as it began, the cacophony fades, the specters retreat, leaving only the residual whispers hanging in the air. My family is left trembling, eyes wide with horror and understanding, too late to change their minds, but forever altered by the experience. "Do you believe me now?" I ask, my voice a mere whisper. They don't answer. The silence between us is a chasm, filled with the weight of unspoken words, regrets, and the chilling knowledge that they have witnessed the truth and cannot escape its grasp. I realize then that my journey has transformed me, but the cost is heavy. As I step back into the night, I carry with me the echoes of their disbelief, a haunting reminder that sometimes it's the ones we love the most who fail to see the shadows creeping at the edges of our reality. I've returned home not to embrace the warmth of family, but to bear witness to the chilling consequences of their ignorance. And the voices, they continue to whisper, weaving through the fabric of my existence, a constant reminder of the dark truths that lie beneath us all.